Hi everybody, Michelle McClunan, astrologer and life coach, and I'm bringing you an update for the solstice as well as a new moon that's coming up on the 23rd of December. So there's some very, very powerful, strong energy around right now as we start to hurtle towards the end of this really interesting year. So starting with the solstice, which happens on the 21st for most people, in South Africa, it's just after midnight on the 22nd of December. And the solstice point is really a change of season. So in the Southern Hemisphere, we are changing season from summer. So it's starting to usher in winter. And in the Northern Hemisphere, it's starting to usher in the summer season. So solstice is a really big point in our calendar. And basically in astrology, it's when the sun moves into the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn being what we call a cardinal sign, and that is the initiator, the pioneer energy. So when we have a solstice and in Capricorn, which is right now, it's very much about, it's generally about goals, and it's about where we need to go, and it's kind of quite a structured, pushing forward, goal-oriented energy. So it's really a time, solstice is just to see what is shifting in terms of your focus, and in terms, it's a shifting point in our year. Now, this one is actually quite an important solstice because it is coinciding with the Jupiter transit through Aries. So in May, Jupiter went into Aries, and I'll explain that in a second, and then it went back into Pisces, and then right now on the 21st, the 20th and the 21st, Jupiter now re-enters Aries for the last time. Now it's fully into Aries. It doesn't go backwards again. And Jupiter is the planet that's related to opportunity, expansion, moving forward, and it's known as the opportunity, growth, expansion cycle. So when Jupiter moves into Aries, it generally heralds a new start, a new beginning in some area of your life. Now, if you've had your chart done before, if you look in your chart, it'll be where 0 degrees of Aries is in your chart. That will generally be where your Aries cycle starts. It's a 12-year cycle. So this one will go back to 12 years ago, and you might look and see that something might have been happening there for you as well. It's really a good time with the sun being in Capricorn to really look and see what has happened in your life, what has changed in your life, where are you now in comparison to where you were 12 years ago, and sort of have your visions changed? Has your way of looking into the future changed? Are you looking into the future? Many of us are, living much more in the present moment, in terms of knowing that this really is the only reality. So it's lovely to hold the vision of the future, but to hold it lightly, knowing that really this is it. So if we're looking for something out there to make us feel better, if we're not feeling okay right now, then that something out there might just not make us feel better. So it's a shift in perspective, really. And this Jupiter in Aries, which is actually squaring the solstice point, and then will also be squaring the new moon on the 23rd, is really supporting our new vision, our new way of actually moving through the world. The solstice is really ushering in the new moon on the 23rd. So just look at this sort of process from the 20th right through to the 23rd as a time where you can look at your year. You can kind of take stock, if you like, which is a lovely Capricornian word. The Capricornian energy loves to take stock and put things in neat order and say, right, I did this, I accomplished that, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, but without blame. Just looking at it with the eyes of the observer to say, yeah, this is where I am now, and this is where I'd like to be going forward into my new calendar year. So if you look and drill down a little bit into this energy, it's going to be a little bit more potent for people who have cardinal signs in their chart. So that would be Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. we would be feeling that more. If you have your sun or your moon or your ascendant in cardinal signs, you would probably feel this energy more potently, and you might find that if you go back to 12 years ago, you'll find themes that might have a similar energy. So if you have your chart, look to see which house, which little segment of your chart, and you'll know that if you've had your chart read, the 0 degrees of Aries is, and you can also look at 0 or 1 degree of Capricorn, because that's where the new moon is. Those two areas of your chart will usually be where there's been something that's been wanting to change, but maybe hasn't taken. So if you look at the Jupiter cycle, and Jupiter moving into Aries and then moving back into Pisces and then moving back into Aries again, it's almost as if something wanted to be reborn back in May, but something didn't really. And then it was a bit iffy in October. And now it's sort of, having done the whole process, it's now really the energy with the solstice and the new moon of looking and saying, okay, am I ready? Is this what I want to commit to? Is it aligned with my energy now, with where I am in my life now? So, or is it aligned with the old energy? Is what I'm moving into new and fresh and aligned, or is it very conditional? Is it very linked to traditional values and ways that I've been told to deal with things? This is a time where we are breaking the old patterns. We're stepping into a new dimension, which I've spoken a lot about. And this is really, it's like one of those culmination points. It's looking and saying, how have I shifted? Where am I shifting to? And how can I actually aid this process of evolution, of stepping into this higher level of consciousness? That is what this new moon energy is saying. It's saying, be wise, look at it. It's a maturing energy. Capricorn is a maturing energy. It's to say, yes, I've come from that. This is the way I used to do it. How would I do this now? What I'm moving into now, is it aligned with who I am now? Yes or no? No, it's a little bit aligned with who I used to be, or what my parents told me, or what my teachers told me. It's not aligned with who I am now, in which case there needs to be a bit of an adjustment and then a commitment. Capricorn is the sign of commitment. It's the sign of the mountain goat. When a Capricorn commits to something, it commits. It's that mountain goat. It's going up the mountain and it's going to get to the top of the mountain, no matter what. It's beautiful. It's resilient. We have an online community called Inner Space, which I run with John, my partner, and our theme for January is resilience. How do we actually move forward into our life with resilience? What is resilience? And it is that part of us that says, this is really important to me, so I'm going to focus on putting my energy into this without worrying too much about the top of the mountain. I'm going to just commit to this step, and then to that step, and then to this step. And at each step, to actually say, does this feel right? What is the feeling right now? Yes, yeah, I'm moving in the right direction, or I have to course correct a little bit. That's Capricorn energy. It is linked always to Cancer energy, because Capricorn on the wheel is opposite Cancer. And Capricorn, where Capricorn can sometimes tend to disconnect from emotions, because Capricorn wants to get up to the top of the mountain without worrying about too much about feeling, Cancer energy will say, yeah, but just check in with your feelings. Check in with how you feel on the inside. That also links really to the goals, because very often we have a goal, we want to go there because, and then the question is, why do you want that? Why do you want to get to that top of the mountain? Why do you want that as an aim, as a goal? Why do you want to live there? And the way I would look at this, and the way I do it in my own life, is I would like to achieve that. If I achieved that, how would I feel? Because that is the inspired intention that actually drives all of our goals. You want to go on holiday so that you feel relaxed. You maybe want to be in a partnership so that you feel connected. You want a home so that you feel safe. And then it's starting to rain. Isn't that beautiful? So the sound might go a bit wonky, but so grateful for the rain. It's lovely. As I'm speaking about emotions, about feelings, which is water, we have the rain. It's a confirmation. So how would I feel if I actually moved forward into this new whatever it is? How would I think that I would feel? Then to actually say, right, it's my responsibility, another Capricorn word, to feel that now. So if I want safety, so then how can I actually connect with the feeling of safety now? If I want connection, how can I connect with that feeling of connection now? That is then going to feed your goals, because what happens is then you are vibrating at the frequency of safety or the frequency of connection, and then the law of the universe says, there's a match, there's an energetic match here, and will then bring possibly tangible goals into your actual life. So it's a little bit different from just saying, I want that, I want that, I want that. Just when you're setting your goals and you're looking at planting new seeds, which is what this new moon is all about, it's very earthed, very grounded, beautifully ready for seed planting. But just look and see what seeds am I planting, and if that flower had to grow, how would I feel at the end of that when I've actually reached the fruition of that goal. So that's how I would actually suggest that we work with these new seeds. Remembering new moon is always a time to plant new seeds. So on the 23rd, take yourself away a little bit, light a candle, and plant those seeds of intention into that candle flame. It's a beautiful, very fertile new moon to do that. Remembering to water those seeds, because there's not a lot of water around right now. Astrologically, there's a lot of earth. So it's quite structured. It's quite very strong energy, but it can also be quite serious. It can also feel a little bit burdened, a little bit, there's so much going on, I've got no time for me. You might be feeling a little bit world weary about, it's another day, I've got to do this again. So what do we do in this case? And I pulled a card, and it was just so beautiful because she just says it for us. It's a card called Lalita, and it's the red goddess. And her message is playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. It's so beautiful. I'm going to read it to you because it's so apt for this new moon, because this new moon could get a bit heavy. Old conditioning from family, from childhood, unhealed wounds, pain bodies could arise at this new moon, and often does when we're with family, because families generally know how to push our buttons. So it's to actually just step back a little bit and step into playfulness. Lalita represents the spontaneity that graces a heavy moment and reminds us that joy is a powerful spiritual practice. I love that. She is often depicted sitting on a lotus with 16 petals, known as the fulfiller of all desires. She is holding a golden bow that represents the mind and 5 golden arrows that represent the 5 senses. And the ancient devotional text dedicated to her is a list of her 1,000 names that fulfill all of the desires of a devotee simply through its recitation. The Sanskrit word lila means divine play. Lalita loves when her devotees are able to move beyond dualities to the point where we are not separate from what we desire. So it's further confirmation of what I've just been saying. What we desire is who we are. It's an interplay. It's a dance. She loves worship for this reason, because it moves us out from our ideas and our thoughts and into our hearts, where we can experience the divine directly. She is known for her spontaneity and for liberating her devotees with joy. She is the consciousness that comes when we get so caught up taking ourselves seriously that we forget the profound, simple pleasures like sunlight on our face or the taste of a ripe strawberry. She is the delicious moment when we remember we don't have to take everything, especially ourselves, so seriously. And there's a tendency to do that right now. We don't have to be perfect or know the right mudras or yoga poses or chant for hours on end. What is divine is inherent in us. It's remembered, not learned. When your soul selects this card, answers arrive from disengaging with the energy that created the problem or question to begin with. Now, at this time, we can be burdened with that, with the problems and the questions, and how we're going to do this, and how we're going to plan this, and is it the right thing? We often hold so tight to what we desire with the grip that actually inhibits it from arriving. So often, we take the soul by the collar and demand to know an answer right now. But when a desire is an imperative, there's an inability to be playful, imaginative, and childlike with how and when that desire will arrive. The secret to desire is holding it lightly. The secret that the Red Goddess knows is that we already have everything we desire. What I said just now, we have the safety inside us. Not out there, it's inside. We have the connection inside us. It's not outside, it's inside. Secret is that we have everything we desire. So we can trust that what the soul craves is and always has been ours. This is the levity that sparks a shift, a change, an expansion. Amazing. Cardinal, Jupiter in Aries, change. It's incredible. This is the moment that we remember we are not separate from what we desire or from the divine. Lalita is that brilliant moment in a fight between lovers or friends, when suddenly someone mispronounces a word and both crack up laughing. She is the levity that comes when we loosen our death-like grip on what we think we desire. She is the gorgeous, much-needed reminder that we don't have to suffer our way to what we want most. The path to what we desire and to becoming the soul we need to be in order to receive it can be paved with joy, with divine play, and with the sacred process of lightening up along the way. How can I add more playfulness to my life right now? How can you add more playfulness right now to your life? We're in a situation right now where we have a whole batch of children. They all happen to be girls. And it's just incredible to see children play and to watch how they move through things with that joy, with that levity, with that lightness, because they're not feeling burdened by what they should be doing and what they should be achieving. They're just in the moment. They're incredible teachers, really incredible. So how can we actually bring more playfulness into this time rather than being too serious? So I wish you joy, and I wish you playfulness, and I wish you levity and lightness this Christmas, this festive season, whatever you celebrate. Thank you for watching me and listening to me this year and supporting my channel. If you like this, please subscribe and press the notification button so that you get updated when I do a video. I do them every 2 weeks. And my partner John and I will be running our 13th Journey to Freedom course, which is going to start on the 26th of January. We will be putting out a video on that, but you can have a look on our website, journeysofawakening.com, and let us know if you're interested in joining us for an incredible journey of the soul, where we actually go through and let go of whatever's blocking our light so that we can actually move very much aligned with this fifth dimensional shift that we're going through. This is the biggest time in history in terms of our consciousness. This is a huge shift, and we are preparing ourselves for this. It's happening, but we have to actually get into alignment with it. And I believe that joy and play and creativity is one of the ways that we align. It's what we actually are moving through. Instead of actually being so serious, we're actually moving into a lighter time, a lighter place, a time where we can choose our state. We can choose to be light. We can choose to be playful. Or we can choose to be very serious and burdened and hunched over. It's our choice. So I wish you all the best and send lots and lots of love to you. Thanks so much for watching.